Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Well, thanks for coming. Try that again. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we get started, do you want to post your plug your social media stuff, the name of the organization or company, and anything that's related to your email address? And
yeah, of course. Stuff. So I'm Transitions Equine Assisted Learning. On Facebook, I'm Transitions-Encompassing Wellness. On Instagram, I'm Transitions_EAL. And my website is transitionseq.ca. And you can get all of my contact information from there.
So before we get into what it is, what's your background before we start talking about?
I've been around horses my entire life, but my actual education and career choice was in banking, believe it or not. And, over the course of the past number of years, banking has been stressful. And I needed a way to help others the same way that horses have helped me. So I decided to get into doing stuff with the horses.
It's funny, you're the second person that's actually been on this podcast that was in banking and got out of banking and did what they actually wanted to do.
I'm pretty sure that she was my manager at one point, actually. Kelly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow. She and I worked together for a few years, I think. She's good people.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's one of those people that as soon as she started talking, like I don't want to say bubbly, but she's got a very solid personality and she just comes across so nice. And so we just pop into the candy shop, like if we're walking by, like we don't need any because we're getting fatter, but we'll pop in and buy something just to say hi, right? So
yeah, Kelly's good people. She's a very good mentor too.
Yeah. So what's the whole horse helping? I saw on your website that you were massaging somebody. One of the horses actually came over to help out.
So we don't do massage. So there's a number of different wellness things that we do on the farm with the horses. So what you saw on the website with the hands on the person on the massage table, that's called Reiki. And Reiki is a Japanese form of energy healing. So it's light touch on different points of the body. It helps to move the energy through. It's really meant for to induce like a really deep relaxation. And then I've added a twist to it and just let the horses kind of come into it because they add an even bigger twist of that relaxation. Horses can sense your heartbeat from 4 feet away. Okay. And then they have such a big presence about them that they will actually start to help you co-regulate your own heart rate. So if you're feeling anxious or if you're feeling stressed out, they naturally help you calm down. Wow. Which is why it's kind of neat that the horses are in there. It just adds another really interesting and unique touch to some wellness, some holistic wellness stuff. So that's what you would have seen on that. Right. The other stuff that we do out there and how we actually started was through equine assisted learning. So what that is an experience-based approach to learning leadership and life skills using horses. And the program was actually designed for permanent behavior modification. So we work with some youth at risk, we work with really young kids, we work with corporate teams, we work with a whole waft of people, a whole big amount of people. And the things that they learn while they're walking through the obstacles with the horses, they can actually take those things and then apply them outside of the arena in everyday life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you pull the mic just a little bit closer to you?
Sure.
I did want to know it. So obviously you're a horse farm, kind of, right? Are there particular kinds of horses that you kind of gravitate to for this, or is it all horses are on deck and any horse can do it?
All horses are on deck. So everybody in our herd is all rescue. So we don't we've not gone looking for any of these horses. We've had people contact us and say, hey, I have this horse. Do you want it? We can't have it anymore for whatever reason. A perfect example is Thunder, who's now my new logo. his previous owner contacted me and said that she was going to have him euthanized because he was what they call lame in the horse world, meaning that he can't be ridden anymore because he's sore. And because we don't do riding in our programs for equine assisted learning, it's not a box that I need to tick on a horse. So I didn't need another horse, but I went and met him anyways. And I, oddly enough, could not get him to be lame. Like I couldn't get him to take any ouchy steps or limp or anything along those lines. So I ended up getting him for $1. And then I had my vet look him over, obviously, because we want to make sure that they're in good health and all of that stuff. And my vet said that he was just in improper fitting equipment, and that was his only issue. So now we have him in proper fitting equipment. He's on a body worker program. Like we have a massage therapist and stuff that comes out to work on him. And he's great. And he's the star of the farm. Like, and he's huge. He's massive. Wow. So we call him Thunder, the $1 wonder.
The $1 wonder. I like that.
We call him the $1 wonder. And in July, we just did a big charity event called Thunderfest. We had live bands, we had a vendor market, and all of the proceeds went to the Oxford Heart Hub Initiative in Oxford County because they just bought that building on Graham Street for homelessness, addiction, and recovery treatment. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. So how long have you been doing this?
My business opened in 2021, and I right before the second lockdown or the third lockdown, one of the lockdowns. And then I had to pivot because obviously you weren't supposed to do anything with lockdowns, but you could do outdoor stuff. So then I decided that horses are an outdoor thing. So we just started doing things outside with them, and it's been great. We were at another facility, and in 2022, end of 2022, I got busy enough that that other facility wasn't cutting it anymore. So now I'm at home. Now we do it at home.
Outside of that, you also do other stuff like I saw on your website down here. You guys also do riding lessons, and you've got something called signature services. What exactly are those?
The signature services are the services that we started our business with. So the signature services are equine. Yeah, they're our equine insights, which is there are one-on-one sessions. So that's where you come in and we kind of work through our building block curriculum. We have our Cowgirl Kickback, which is our ladies' night, and it was just recognized as an Ontario Southwest signature experience. We have Horseplay, which is date night. And then I think the other one is Equizen, and that's the Reiki with the horses. So that's what we started our business with, and it's just grown from there. So.
Well, it's funny. So when our mutual friend Ashley, when she had mentioned all this, so she just said my horse lady. So I just assumed that you just had horses and it was just a farm. But then when I started reading all this stuff, like this seems more. I don't want to say an amusement park, but it's like there's so many different aspects to it that it was not at all what I originally thought with horse lady. And then she goes, "Well, it's not what I mean, horse lady. It's a friend of mine that has horses."
Yeah.
And then she kind of went into it a little bit and then got us in contact.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And it's good. Like I'm continuously looking for ways that people can get involved with the horses without having to be on their backs. Because one of the things that I hear, the biggest thing that I hear people come to the farm and say is, oh, when I was 5 years old, I had a really bad experience on a horse. I went on a trail ride and then they went to go back to the barn and they took off and I fell off and I broke my arm or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. That's a lack of education on the person who was getting them to ride in the first place. Right. So we want to make every experience that people have when they come to the farm a positive one, to where horses aren't scary anymore. And so we have horses that are 30 inches tall, and then we have horses that are 16 hands tall. So if you're really scared, we'll put you with a little horse and let you groom it and walk it around. And then they're like, oh, it's so cute. And you build your confidence up and then you can get up to the bigger horses. And 9 times out of 10, people like working with the bigger horses than they do with the ponies, because the ponies have attitudes of their own because they're little. Right. They're like giant dogs, really is what they are. So
I was going to say, that's where I should probably start, the little pony.
Yeah.
I'm same boat. I had a bad experience when I was younger. It was like we were in high school, and the place that we went to, so I'm from Ottawa, and there was a spot there. We found out afterwards that they don't treat their horses very well. So in that 100% came through on our ride. Two of them kept turning around trying to bite us, like the other ones that were on the horses. I got kicked by another horse. Luckily, he was so far away that by the time the leg got extended, I just barely felt anything, which I'm thankful for. Any closer, I'm sure it would have broken my leg. No problem. And then just to top it off, once we got back, I got my hand slammed in the door. So it was overall it was a good.
It was a whole overall bad experience. Wow. Every time, everything is an adventure, right? So yeah, that's kind of with our farm. That's what we want to try and avoid. We don't want to have people coming out there and going, "Oh my gosh, I went to this horse farm and it was awful," right? We start at the very basic. We start on the ground and we work our way up. So, by the time that you get in the saddle, you're feeling comfortable and confident enough that you can kind of read what your horse is going to do already, and you can make adjustments for it. And for me, the fact that all of these horses have come to us, that we haven't gone and looked for them, because people were basically discarding them because they couldn't be used for what they needed them for anymore, just makes it that much more special. Because otherwise these horses probably wouldn't be here anymore. They'd be gone. Yeah. Right. So,
gives them a kind of a second lease on life, where their second part of their career is now taken off.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You guys get to do that together. So both your second.
Yes, exactly. So, my 15-year-old daughter, Lindsay, she's very, very active in helping me, run things. So she created a program called the Spirit of Teens, because she saw a need for teenagers to have a place to go and just kind of hang out and do their thing, but also get some education while they were doing it, so that they weren't hanging around doing things they weren't supposed to do. So she helps me run that program. She helps run our summer camp. She teaches some of our riding lessons because she's pretty accomplished in her riding career already for her age. And she thrives on it. So she and I get into lots of trouble when it comes to the horse stuff, because one of the things I'm famous at doing is just showing up at the house with a new horse and not saying anything to anybody. And my husband's like, "Oh my goodness, he's a saint, by the way." My daughter just recently did it to me, and my husband thought that was great. He's like, "How do you like that?" And I'm like, "I don't actually."
It's okay when I do it.
Exactly. It's okay when I do it, not when she does it. So, but yeah.
That's awesome. So do you guys have I saw you have classes and stuff, so you just go on your website and book a spot or whatever. Do you guys also do stuff for with schools?
Yeah, we do stuff with schools. This past Thursday, we just had 97 kids out for a summer camp from the city of Woodstock.
Is that it? Just 97?
97. That was it. And they all were the age range was from 4 to 7. And it was very well organized, very well run. I mean, we were all tired afterwards, of course, because it's a lot of energy, but yeah, we do stuff with schools. I have long-term care facilities come out with their folks, and my horses love them to pieces. What else do we do? The corporate team buildings. I've had a few banks out. I've had a couple of factories in Woodstock come out and do some team building with their folks. Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, pretty much we can do anything. We've even had a wedding out at the farm.
Really? Yeah. Wow. That'd be interesting. Get to ride off of this.
Yeah. There was no riding at the wedding, but yes, yeah, the horses were definitely a big part of the backdrop. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sometimes you just need to, like you said, it's just being in their vicinity makes everything just a little bit better, right?
Yeah, a little more magical.
Plus, I'm sure that TV show Yellowstone hasn't hurt you at all, because I feel like everyone wants to go and ride a horse after watching that show.
Everybody wants to cowboy after seeing Yellowstone. What I will say is I caution everybody on jumping into that right off the hop without doing a little bit more research or potentially volunteering at some of these places, because it is a lot of work. And right now, in this time of the year, it's not that much work, but come wintertime, it's a lot of work. Yeah. Not for the faint of heart. We have a horse actually this week. Very good example. Her name's Rory. And this is the one that my daughter showed up with at the house. And she decided to have a tummy ache, and a tummy ache for a horse can be fatal. It's called colic. So we had to call the vet out. And since Sunday last week, I think collectively, Lindsay and I have had maybe a solid 12 to 15 hours of sleep. because you had to get up every hour and check on it and make sure that it's going to the bathroom. It's not rolling into a fence and all of that stuff. So, those are things that people don't take into consideration when they, which is why a lot of the horses find us in the first place, right? Because they get these horses thinking that, oh, it's going to be easy. And then they don't take into consideration all of the care and stuff that goes into, or what can go wrong.
I never thought of that. So it's basically on the same like plane as people getting dogs and go, yeah, I don't want to take care of this anymore. And then they go and drop off the dog at the pound. And then, so you guys are basically getting someone's horse because same reason.
Yeah, basically.
It's weird. I never thought, you would think if someone's buying a horse that they already know what they're getting into.
It's not that way. Unfortunately, one of the horse industry is a funny industry. It's a very big industry, yet it's a very small industry. So everybody kind of tends to get to know everybody. Their reputations sometimes precede them, and unfortunately, a lot of the kids the parents get kids into doing shows, getting into riding lessons and doing shows. And then the parents get super excited and they buy a pony for their kid, and then the kid outgrows the pony. Well, now the kid doesn't want the pony anymore, so now they've got to find a home for the pony. They don't get the same amount of money for the pony that they paid for the pony potentially because they were so excited in the beginning. Maybe they overpaid. Like, there's a whole bunch of things. Perhaps the pony got injured and they can't sell it as a riding horse anymore. So then that, of course, affects everything. And then people get frustrated, throw their hands up, and they're done with them.
Wow. There's so many different things to think about. Like I said, small thing, big thing for you guys. Everyone else just thinks, well, horse?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just leave it in the stable. Someone else take care of it.
Yeah, no.
It's 100%. I do feel, I know a couple people that do have horses and they just house them in someone else's stable.
Yep.
But they so we work shift work. So they're there during the day when we're on nights, and they go there right after work when we're on days. So I know it's a ton of work for them, but they all seem to love it.
Yeah.
But same thing, they grew up on a horse farm, so it's what they've always known. Some of them have quit like where we work, and now they've gone into that field. So
yeah,
following their passions and loves. So
yeah. Well, it's definitely it's a lifestyle for sure. It's funny because I took a break from horses when I started having when I had my son. I took a break from horses, and I didn't intend to get back into horses at all because they're expensive. They're a lot of work. You need all the property and all of that stuff. And my daughter at the time, I had given both of the kids a list of things that they could do: soccer, swimming lessons, football, like what, a dance, all of these things. Horses weren't on the list. My husband is a city slicker. He's not a farm guy. And my 3-year-old daughter stood in the kitchen one day and said, ponies and nothing but ponies. And my husband's like, oh, come on, it won't be that bad. And I went, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into, but okay, if you say so. And that was all she wrote. Now we have 11.
Or does he help out with them as much as you do?
Not as much, but he is helpful. He's also learning. I'm very impressed with the level of attention that he puts into it now that we're at home, because with this horse colicking on us this week, now he's got the rest of the herd. He's watching them like hawks. He's like, oh my goodness, so-and-so rolled and didn't get up right away and shake or whatever, right? And I'm like, just relax. It's okay. Right? But he's super, super attentive to that kind of stuff. He makes sure that they have plenty of fresh water all day long. He helps us make sure that they all have food in front of them all the time. He helps me repair the things that the horses break because they break fences sometimes. So the occasional time, if I ask him to build something for us, he will. It might take him a little bit longer, but he does get it done. So he is helpful. He's just not as involved as my daughter.
Right. I just thought it was going to be funny if he had said, oh, just get her the pony, and then you have to look after it. But if he's helping out, then it's, yeah.
Yeah, he's helping. He's helping. He knows where our heart is. So he's the first one to support us through all of that. So he's a good guy. He's a keeper, I think. For now.
So where do you see this going? Like, do you want to expand? Do you want to buy more property, get another 50 horses?
I don't know about 50 horses. where I was just having this conversation with a group of friends the other day, actually. So I definitely am at a point now where I have to think about expanding. Um, what I want to do is always ensure that when you walk onto my property, it feels the same way when I've expanded as it does now. So when you come into my property, like when you drive in and then you get out of the car, you immediately feel um, like you don't want to leave, which is exactly the intention that we had when we set up the property the way that we did. Like we want you to feel like it's your home away from home. So I definitely always want to keep that feel, but we definitely have to look at making some expansions, and for different reasons. So we do a lot of Indigenous programming at the farm as well. So we have an elder that we work with and knowledge keepers, and then I have a friend of mine who is actually our Indigenous facilitator and the person who tells me the right way and the wrong way to do things, to make sure that we're being a good ally all the time. And so we put in an Indigenous medicine garden this past spring, that we use for smudge gatherings once a month with our Indigenous elder who comes out. And I really want to get into doing the Ojibwe spirit pony. So they're an endangered species. There's only 199 of them left in Canada as of right now, and they're the only horse that we know of native to Canada from the boreal forest. So that's something that I would like to dabble in. I think dabble's the wrong word. I would like to try and get into doing that, because I think that there can be a lot learned from that. But I'm also very aware of the challenges that come along with trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we're going to be looking into. And then yes, looking at trying to broaden our property just a little bit, and probably putting up an indoor facility. Not that I would really use it too much in the summertime, but for wintertime, so that we can continue having maybe a more comfortable space to do things all year round. We can, because we still run all year round.
Right.
You just got to dress for the weather.
Guess there's probably no Reiki outside then.
No, I have an indoor space to do Reiki, and it is heated, so it's good in that regard. But yeah, I'd like to. We're at the point now where we got to start looking at doing something like that. So probably a couple years down the road, but we're getting there. We're making plans.
So you said an Ojibwe spirit
They're called
pony?
Ojibwe spirit ponies, yes.
So the tribe that you're working with, they are Ojibwe?
So the elder that I work with, he's actually Mohawk and Iroquois. And then Becca Neepin, who is my Indigenous facilitator at the farm, she's Cree. So we don't limit ourselves to who we work with, because, in order to be a good ally and walk in a good way, you've got to learn them all.
Sure.
So most of the teachings that our elder Eric that he provides it would be more like Haudenosaunee and Ojibwe. But he also has the Mohawk and Iroquois teachings that he helps with as well. And then Becca, obviously, she tries to teach a bunch of the Cree stuff, and then we try and just keep it open and everybody's welcome.
Yeah. No, I was just curious. As I always hear Mohawk, I always hear Cree and stuff like that, and I have a good friend back home. He's a Ojibwe, so whenever I hear Ojibwe, I'm like, oh, that's because he's the only one that I personally know of that's a Ojibwe. So I mean, him and his
Of
family,
course, yeah.
obviously. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's it's interesting just keeping everything as I don't want to use the term basic, but like the way how the natives always had everything, keep everything like you're saying, using their medicine herbal.
Yeah, their medicine garden. Yeah, so everything is all natural, right? They're just earth based. It's about taking care of the earth and yourselves and each other, and having an open heart for all of the stuff. That's the teachings. That's what I've been taught.
Right.
So, and if I ever screw up on anything, like if I make a statement that's incorrect, I'm the first person to like publicly apologize and be like, sorry guys, I'm still learning. And I think people appreciate that, because I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm trying to be a good ally. So yeah, so those are some of the things that we have on the go.
It's awesome. Well, I won't take up. Unless there's something else you want to talk about.
I don't think so. I
No?
mean, aside from, I think we pretty much touched everything.
You guys sell stuff as well, right?
Oh, we didn't touch on that. Okay, all right. Yeah, I do have a gift shop. So we do have a gift shop, and we have a bunch of different local curated stuff in there. So we have Mrs. L's vintage. So she has some vintage stuff in there that we sell. We have Infuse and Booze, which is basically like I don't know, they're little jars full of freeze dried fruits and all the things that you can make like an old fashioned and a Bloody Mary and a mimosa. What else do we have in there? We have art and indigenous medicines from Eric and Wendy Martin. I have my own line of all natural hair and skincare that we just launched in July. So I'm really excited about that. It works well. I love it. We have candles, leather making, like keychains, wallets, and stuff like that from another local artist. So lots of stuff like that.
You guys sell the RIP uniform on
The no.
I always think it's funny because every time someone starts talking about Yellowstone, you'll always see someone in the background, the glasses, the hat.
We have hats. We do have the cowboy hats. We don't have sunglasses.
What about boots?
I don't have any boots, but I do have hats, and I know where we can get boots. So
I've been looking for boots forever. But my buddy and I were in Nashville, and I almost bought a set while I was down there, and I should have. And
the next time you go down to Tennessee, you got to check out Boot Barn because you can buy one pair of boots and you get 2 pairs free. So you get 3 pairs of boots for the price of 1.
Whereabouts is that?
The last time I was down, I was in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, and they had a Boot Barn, and then right next door is Duncan's, and they have all kinds of Carhartt and stuff for really cheap. So when Lindsay and I went down in March, we got 3 pairs of boots, and I paid $199.
Wow. Yeah. See, the ones I was looking at were like $450 to $600, and that was American. I was like, like I had a pair of boots in high school. I loved them. I wore them everywhere. Like people would want to race me, and I still wear my boots, and I'd still beat them. But I wore them down so that the metal plate in the bottom, so when I was walking, I'd tick. It was only the right one that was worn down for some reason. So I'd walk it, tick, tick, tick. I gotta get rid of these.
Yeah.
Well, so I've been on the lookout for them ever since, and everyone says, "Oh yeah, there's a spot in London. Where?
Wilson's Tack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wilson's Tack. They're just outside of Thorndale by the London Sales Arena.
Guess I'll have to check it out. So you want to give your social media and all your...
Yeah, sure. So on Facebook, we're transitions-encompassing wellness. On Instagram, we're transitions_EAL. Our website is transitionseq.ca.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll talk to everybody next time.